It started as a normal Monday, 1:48 a.m. A pregnant mother steps quietly through her front door. The porch light flickers. Her husband is home. Her daughters are asleep. The house still. By 7 a.m., her phone is silent. By 9 a.m., no answer. By 12 o'clock, no posts, no calls, no trace. By 1 p.m., a friend dials 911. A woman is missing, pregnant, 2 kids, no sign. Police arrive. They find her purse on the kitchen counter, keys inside, medication untouched, phone plugged in. But no Shanann, no Bella, no Celeste. The husband, calm, too calm. He talks, but not like a man who just lost everything. He stares at the officer's body cam, smiles, shrugs. Maybe she left with the girls. Maybe she's just somewhere. But the neighbor's camera tells a different story. It saw him. Early morning, backing his truck up to the garage, loading something over and over. Minutes, not seconds. The officer steps outside, the neighbor lowers his voice. He's not acting right. Have you ever looked someone in the eye and just felt something was wrong? That quiet knot in the stomach, that whisper. This doesn't add up. You felt it. So did they. And it was just the beginning. 1:48 a.m. The porch light clicks on. Shanann Watts steps out of the car. She's tired. 15 weeks pregnant. Her suitcase rolls behind her. She doesn't know. This is her last walk. She enters her own home. Her daughters are asleep upstairs. Her husband is awake, waiting. They argue. She wants to fix things. He wants out. By morning, she's gone. No noise, no struggle, no goodbye, just a silence that won't end. At 7 a.m., no answer. 9 o'clock, nothing. By noon, her friend is pacing. By 1:40 p.m., a 911 call. I dropped her off last night. She's not answering. She's pregnant. Police arrive. The front door's locked. Inside, her purse, her medication, her phone, everything, except her. Chris Watts stands in the living room, arms crossed, voice flat, eyes dry. She said she was going to a friend's house. Maybe she just needed space. But the officer's camera is rolling, and the man in front of it, he doesn't look like a husband. He looks like someone acting like one. Next door, a neighbor shows security footage. Chris loading his truck at 5 a.m., bin after bin, multiple trips, minutes, not seconds. He never does that, the neighbor whispers. Something's off. Have you ever been in a room and felt that something was wrong without anyone saying a word? That chill, that tension, that gut feeling. The kind you remember years later and still can't explain. Chris Watts stood in the dark. Shanann had just walked in. She went upstairs, dropped her bag, and crawled into bed, tired from a business trip, unaware she'd never see her children again. He followed her. He told her it was over, that he didn't love her, that he wanted a new life. She cried, she begged. She told him, "You'll never see the girls again." That's when he did it. No weapon, no warning, just his hands. He pinned her down, pressed, held. Minutes passed, her eyes faded, and when it was done, their unborn son, Nico, died with her. But it wasn't over. 2 little girls stood in the hallway. They had heard something. They saw their father. They saw their mother, wrapped in a sheet. "Is Mommy okay?" "She's just sleeping," he lied. He put Shanann's body in the truck. Then, he placed the girls in the back seat, alive. Think about that. 2 children, sitting beside their dead mother, as their father drove them to a remote oil field. 45 minutes, no screaming, just confusion and trust. One by one, he ended their lives. Celeste first, then Bella. And Bella, 4 years old, had just one last question. "Daddy, are you going to do the same thing to me?" Can you imagine hearing those words from your own child? Can you imagine answering them, not with love, but with silence? Some moments in life echo forever. This was one of them. Chris Watts opened the front door for the police. He smiled, he talked. He pointed around the house like a tour guide. "She left her purse." Weird. She might be at a friend's. I just want them home. But his eyes didn't match his voice. His hands never shook. His face never cracked. And when the officer looked around the house, there were no signs of struggle, no blood, no broken things, just absence. Shanann's phone was still charging, her car in the garage, the children's shoes by the stairs. By evening, cameras were rolling. Chris gave a TV interview, standing on his porch. He said all the right things. If someone has them, bring them back. This house is empty without noise. But America was watching, and something didn't feel right. Then came the footage. A neighbor, curious, called officers into his living room. Security camera, 5:17 a.m. Chris backing his truck into the driveway. Unusual. He never did that. Then, several trips, loading again. Minutes of movement. Not a quick drive to work. Not a normal routine. The neighbor, quiet until now, leans in. He's acting wrong. He never talks like this. The officer nods. They don't say it out loud, but the air is heavy. Something's cracking. Chris leaves. The neighbor turns back to the cop. He was nervous. Like, shaking nervous. Have you ever known someone for years, and then one day, something in them changed? A tone, a look, a sentence that didn't fit. Sometimes truth doesn't scream. It shows up on tape. Chris Watts walked into the interrogation room wearing a t-shirt and a calm face. But the walls were closing in. 2 days had passed. No Shanann, no Bella, no Celeste. And the world was watching. Detectives offered him water, a smile, a chance to talk. But Chris didn't come to confess. He came to control the story. Maybe someone took them. I think she just left. But the officers had one more tool, the polygraph. They told him it would measure the truth. He said, I understand. The test began. Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance? No. Are you lying about the last time you saw her? No. He tried to breathe normally. He focused on staying still. But inside, panic was rising. An hour later, the examiner returned. She didn't sugarcoat it. Chris, you failed. Silence. Then, the spin. I want to talk, but only with my dad. They brought him in, and that's when the mask cracked. Sitting across from his father, voice low, he said, she hurt the kids. And then, I had to do it to her. A lie, but a different one. A softer version of horror. One where he still looked like the victim. But detectives had heard enough. They knew he wasn't telling the truth, just shifting it. Have you ever watched someone lie? Not to fool others, but to protect what little was left of themselves? Not truth, not fiction, just survival. Some lies don't hide guilt. They expose it. He sat still for hours. His arms folded, his eyes blank. They asked him again, not with threats, not with anger, but with something stronger, quiet. Chris, tell us the truth. And finally, he broke. He didn't cry, he didn't shout, he just unraveled. I told her I didn't love her anymore. She said I'd never see the kids again. A pause. I lost it. He described how he straddled her, pressed his hands against her throat, watched as her life slipped away. And then, he told them something they weren't ready for. The girls, they were alive. After, they saw her wrapped up. They were crying. He put them in the truck, drove them to the oil field. 45 minutes of silence. 2 toddlers, sitting next to the body of their mother. One by one, he told them, he ended their lives. First Celeste, then Bella. Bella fought back. She had scratches on the inside of her mouth. She screamed, she begged, Daddy, no. Those were her last words. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave, dropped the girls into separate oil tanks, and went to work, as if nothing happened. Detectives sat in silence. There was nothing left to ask. The mask was gone. The charm, the lies, the quiet, gone. Only the truth remained. And it was monstrous. Have you ever wondered how much darkness a person can hide behind a smile? What someone is capable of? Not in anger, but in cold, planned silence? Some truths don't need a scream. They just need to be heard once and never forgotten.